Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Coffee and KO's recap show, recapping UFC Vegas 25, presented by the MMA Stooges. And fellas, I'm not going to say a new prospect, but a new title contender is officially here. 2 fights in the UFC. Jiri Prochazka is going to be fighting for the belt here. Hell of a knockout over Dominick Reyes in a fight where we got to see a decent amount of Jiri. We got to see two rounds. I think it's pretty similar to the Vulcan fight as far as, he wore damage, but he gave more damage than he wore and ended up, getting a nice knockout. This one definitely more fancy than the Vulcan knockout with the spinning elbow. Tough to see Dom Reyes like that. I like Dom Reyes. I think that's one of the better versions of Dom Reyes we've seen in a while. But Jiri Prochazka is just another animal, and we had a lengthy discussion before we actually went live. But I love the matchup between, we don't know who it's going to be. But the thing is, if it's Glover Teixeira, seems to be immortal. Somehow wears all this damage and gets a win. It doesn't make any sense to me.
He falls forward after being rocked on top of opponents that get tired from whooping his ass. Somehow
it works. And then you have Jan Blachowicz, who I think most of us think is going to fight Jiri. And then, it's a little bit different of a matchup. Dom Reyes wasn't really going to threaten Jiri on the ground at all. And, he took him down, but he wasn't going to threaten him there at all. So interesting matchup. I like the matchup. It just sucks because Yuri's debut, like his UFC debut, was almost a full year ago. And now we're going to have to wait to see him again. And he's a guy, I'm a fan. I think a lot of people are fans of his. He's exciting to watch. I want to see him fight more. And here we got to wait again because he's that good. And that division, in my opinion, is so shitty that, he's really just skyrocketed. Is this going to be the quickest anyone's ever gotten a title shot? Like, boom, just like that. Now you're fighting for the belt after your third fight in the promotion.
Volkan did the same thing. Uzdemir.
I know. Yeah, Uzdemir was quick.
There's some guy named Michael Chandler fighting like.
True. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. In his second fight.
After 40 seconds. So that was a little quicker.
Yeah, that's true too. Yes, you're not. Yeah, see, that's how forgettable Michael Chandler is. I forgot about him already.
How forgettable he was after completely mollywopping.
Yeah. Not a draw. Anyway,
but, I'm pumped. It was a hell of a knockout. Prayers to Dom Reyes because he took when he fell, like his head was curled under his body. So tough scene for him. But Jiri's exciting, and Jiri's I think he was already officially here, but now he's officially number one contender.
Yeah, we're like the KOs of the year because that's definitely up there for KO of the year.
That's number one right now. That's number one.
Yeah, that's got to be.
What would have been the KO of the year before that?
Oh, I don't.
If we're talking significance, like Usman knocking out.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. Like I was trying. Was that I guess, or like Rose's KO? I guess was.
Yeah, Rose making Weili suck toes. I don't know.
Yeah, so. It is interesting. Cool story, bro. Brought up Rakic.
Yes,
and I do think that Rakic versus Jiri is an incredible fight, which Dana White will not risk losing Jiri as a title contender. So he's going to make Jiri sit out until January. But I think Jiri versus Rakic would be a great fight, and I do not know who would win that fight, just because Rakic is willing to fight boring to win a fight. Yeah. And it's just like it's not satisfying, but it's like. If Rakic got on top of Jiri the way that Dominic did, Dominic the wrestler all of a sudden, that's I get it. This was a super exciting performance for Jiri, but that's seriously when you're looking at champion, you're looking for any holds you can get, and it's like that's a gigantic hold that I think a better wrestler, which either of the two guys who are fighting for the title can possibly exploit in Jiri. But still, awesome fight and awesome. The last 2 performances of the night were really great. And I get it. It was a bunch of decisions before then, but not all decisions are created equal. I think there was a lot of really entertaining decisions. We saw Jeff Molina last week have an incredible decision win, which was fight of the night. It's just like I was there.
There weren't many boring fights. Like there weren't. No.
The one that was boring is the one's like kind of people expected to be boring, like the Carolina or whatever her name was. You know, like that ball title.
I expected the Randa Marcos fight to be boring as well, but that just turned into an Oscar-worthy performance.
Thank God. It's Sterling.
I'm so glad that fight. I'm glad it ended earlier than the distance. I was kind of glad. I'll get to Randa Marcos later.
Yeah. So when it comes to Dominick Reyes,
yes,
give this man an easier fight next time out, bro, because this has just been really tough.
He needs a rebound.
He does need a rebound, and I thought he looked really good tonight. And when it comes to Jiri, I mean, I think there's obviously holes in his game. There's you can see there's opportunity to beat him. You know, he's not very defensively sound. I don't know if wrestling's going to be the whole long term, but I think there is you see some holes in his game. You know, Kevin Lee sees all the holes in his game. You know, Kevin Lee's seeing Swiss cheese, and
Kevin Lee's getting ready to come back right now, and looks like he's gonna be a beast when he comes back, by the way. But we'll see.
I feel like that's every time Kevin Lee comes back.
I don't see it happening.
I think he's gonna come back really strong, but we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know. I've never been high on Kevin Lee, to be fair, though. But I mean, tonight was just violent, man. That was something else. I mean, Jiri just kind of put the pressure on him from the very beginning. Was just coming at him, and it looked very back and forth. And then you see their faces after the first round. And it's like Reyes looked like he'd been in a car accident.
I don't understand how Jiri wore some heavy shots and just not one mark on his face.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They all landed on his chin, which was covered up by that beard, you know. I don't know. He's ridiculous, man. Just his movement, his shot selection is insane. Everything that he does, I mean, his durability. I'm really excited about it. And honestly, I was just talking about that. I was just talking with Aaron about who's getting this next title shot. I would love to see Jiri versus Jan, but I know it's not going to happen. Like you said, Aaron, like he is 28 years old. Freaking Glover's one knockout away from a retirement home. So
if he wins the belt, he's retiring. He's not going to defend the belt. He's going to get the belt and he's going to retire.
No, yeah. If Glover Teixeira ends his career as a UFC champion, I might have to go to Las Vegas. I might have to go to Las Vegas and take a shit on the PI property. I'm not gonna lie to you. Why?
Like I don't understand.
I just don't want it. I just don't want that to happen.
Disrespect.
100% disrespect. Anyway,
just stupid.
It would be one of the greatest stories ever, though. That would be.
It would be a crazy redemption story to like lose at like 37, and just be like, you know what? I'll try it at 42 or however old he is now. You know, that'd be a shock though. If he does win it, all credit to him. That'd be amazing. I really want to see this Jiri versus the winner of that fight next. I mean, I know him versus Rakic would be something that people would be interested in, but after Rakic's last fight,
people wouldn't be interested in because
you don't think so?
Rakic.
Yeah, people don't like Rakic. Yeah, Rakic
hate Rakic. Everybody's like, no. No one, including Dana, will not like. What should happen is Jiri Rakic should be the co-main event on the Glover Teixeira fight card, period. And the winner of Rakic and Jiri should fight for the title in the next fight, but that won't happen because Dana will not risk having Rakic fighting for a title after wrestle fucking Jiri.
Yeah.
Period. Like
whoa. I don't know. I don't know if he wrestle fucks Jiri. I don't know.
I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying, and absolutely put
100%.
I was waiting for you guys to be done because I was gonna say that
we're never gonna be done. You're just gonna have to jump in.
It doesn't make any sense why Jiri, like, to me, he's a guy that's gonna be super marketable, right? Like he's got everything that Dana White wants.
Including hair.
Yes.
This guy has fuck handle.
I feel like no one really knows like this. He's a perfect guy to literally market to the casuals, and he's on cards that the casual was not watching tonight's card. Like, it's just one of those. I was just very surprised that he hasn't been on like a massive pay-per-view on the main card of that pay-per-view, like in front of all these casual fans. And
the other thing is like they should be, I wish the UFC would also try to help the casual fan like know about the fight aspects too of like Jiri, because Jiri has a win over the current Bellator light heavyweight champ Vadim Nemkov. He finished him. Like, just like Bellator is constantly bringing up if like a fighter has like pissed it near the octagon. They're like, oh, this fighter, he trained at the PI for a week. Like one FC's like, this fighter was in the, like, the UFC needs to also leverage off these other organizations once in a while. It's like, yeah, Jiri has a win. First of all, Jiri has more than double the fights of Dominick Reyes. They could have mentioned that. He has wins over multiple champions. It's just like there's other
champion in another major organization. It's not like it's like fucking Cage Warriors. Like, no,
right? Which Dom coming into the week was like, Ryzen isn't UFC, but it's like, I'm sorry, but like I'm gonna burst the Dom bubble here. Dom's best win, what was it? Chris Weidman at 205. Neat. A split decision over Volkan Ozdemir.
He lost that fight too.
A split decision.
Yeah, he lost that shit.
Barely a decision over Ovince St. Preux. This is what happens when
he gets gassed up a lot.
This is what happens when your best performance is a loss to John Jones. There's a big club that he can go hang out with Thiago Santos and his blown out knees and badass Gustafsson and his new child, where they can all talk about how they almost beat John Jones and never came anywhere close to it again. Because that's Dom Reyes.
Well, damn, lay down the cock, man. I mean, so
he's done.
Honestly, I mean, I like that comment. Jiri is almost as weird as Tony Ferguson. Does he not resemble, especially like stand-up wise, Tony Ferguson? He's literally a light heavyweight Tony Ferguson. He walks forward with his hands down and just throws shit at you that you don't see
way more
coming.
Power. It's
way
like if
more
Tony
power.
Ferguson had power, that would be like the most unbeatable lightweight of all time, right? It's
insane.
But like this, yeah, and he gets hit less than Tony Ferguson too. I'll say that because Tony Ferguson like gets rolled almost by Lando Venata.
Yeah,
like it's just like
Tony Ferguson needs to get damn near.
Jiri does what Jiri does. He does get hit, and I'll admit this. He does roll with the punches a little bit, which will work until it doesn't work. But I mean, it's like at the same point, Jiri's got to be one of the most like marketable, popular fighters in the UFC now.
Especially in that division. He's about the only marketable one in that division.
And you can play that on Twitter for everybody who didn't see it. That ending will be enough.
It's going viral right now. That's spinning back elbows already going viral.
It's like Mortal Kombat just came out. It's perfect timing. He's going to be like spliced into those images like Goro's nephew.
I'm not going to lie. The hair was the dumbest thing I've seen all year.
I saw a Twitter comment that said Dominick Reyes is stupid. He should have used Jiri Ferguson's fuck handle to force his head deeper into the guillotine, and he would have finished the fight.
Oh my god! I actually forgot. I was looking at the stats here, and I was like, Reyes had a submission attempt, but I forgot about the choke there. But
when you get fucking blasted 2 minutes after, nobody really remembers it.
The strikes were not far off. Total strikes. 78 for Jiri, 68 for Dom, 63 significant for Dom, 77 for Jiri. But Jiri did most of the damage to the head, where Dom did most of his damage to the body, which was not really noticeable whatsoever.
And the other thing is we've still only seen Jiri for about 8 minutes in a fight. So 25 minutes is 3 times as long as the longest he's been in the octagon so
his
far.
His cardio still looks very good, though.
But his body does look like it could slow down in those later rounds and then get easier to hit with those hands still staying low. That's all.
Well, this is my thing. I don't think a single Jiri Ferguson fight, I call him Ferguson, Jiri Ferguson, Prochazka. I don't think a single one of his fights are going 25 minutes, bro. Not with that style of
he's either going to get put out or he's going to
exactly. Or he's going to get fucking slept or he's going to violently put. I mean, honestly, I'm asking you guys, seriously, when is the last time you saw that amount of damage dealt in less than 2 rounds?
I mean, what about Ortega, Max Holloway? That was a pretty.
Well, his face looked like that at the end of the 4th round.
Too. And those are featherweights, not 205ers. In the heavier weight class, that's a really good point.
I don't even want to know what Reyes' face looks like right now. Especially backstage.
His nose got like broke and then rebroke in that fight. You could tell by the reaction in the second round.
If you go back and watch too, his left eye was like closed, completely shut. I mean, he was pretty
when you
bad.
See Reyes squeezing for a guillotine, like it's desperation time. Like it's like because you don't get that. Your arms are gassed. And it's like Reyes, go ahead and look how many submissions he has. Spoiler alert, it's 0.
0.
A guillotine is not happening there, and it's
The one thing I noticed with Reyes too is he's a guy. So there's two different guys. There's guys that feed off getting the shit beat out of him, and then there's guys that just kind of get gassed. And Reyes, when he gets hit, like we saw it with Jan, when he gets hit, he just withers away. Like he gets so tired. Where Jiri was getting hit and just not there was no exhaustion factor whatsoever.
More.
Like, yes, keep hitting me, keep punching me in the face. It's making me
30
stronger.
30 fight veteran. Man. 30 fight veteran. 30 fights against high level competition. A lot of former Bellator champs like King Mo, good guys. He took his time to get over here, and still 28 years old. He could be seriously a guy who eventually interests John Jones to come back down to 205 at some point if John Jones ever decides to fight again. Dana White is praying
that Jiri Prochazka becomes the champ. He is praying
he's
every
the most
night.
Marketable guy there, man.
Yes.
And now he's praying that Johnny Walker goes on a run. And you put Jiri Prochazka versus Johnny Walker. And
Johnny Walker's chin is never going to be ready to go on a run.
He's just hoping and praying that it does, though, because Johnny will keep getting opportunities.
Johnny Walker has absolutely
he's
no
still
boxing
ranked.
Defense.
How is he still ranked?
That's
how bad that division is.
How is he so ranked? Because of marketing, baby. Because the rankings don't matter. They're about marketing.
That's true.
Yeah. Johnny Walker has absolutely 0 boxing defense. That's not happening at all.
Again,
when you get blasted by a hard over.
Dana doesn't care about any of these things.
Oh, no, I know.
Did you remember he did all those cool finishes and then the worm?
And Dana's
give him a title shot.
It's been a tough week for Dana. He lost some big cash cows. Masvidal got fucking starched. Zhang got fucking starched. It's been tough for him. It's
been a tough 2021. 2020, Dana White was up here. Everything's going in his favor. 2021 has not been good for Dana. Every single thing that he wants to happen, Conor McGregor gone. Any star, it's gone.
Masvidal having a miracle upset, whatever bullshit.
Zhang Wei Li. It's just everything that Dana could possibly want has gone wrong. So, and I think he just now, which is absolutely crazy, just now kind of getting on the Usman train just because Usman is now finishing fights where people are going to be talking about it. Yeah. He's basically got to murder them to get Dana's respect.
Yeah, pretty much.
Insane.
I don't know. Dana's not having a good year.
Dana is Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator. He just wants death. He's just.
I don't think me or Zach.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a very. It's like Emperor. He just wants death. He's a gladiator.
That's the worst, bro.
He's a classic Emperor. Wants murder. It's the Gladiator.
You said that, and I think a reaction was probably warranted. But I just looked up.
I'm sorry, I just named one of the most popular movies of the last 30. My bad.
I haven't seen it.
My bad. It's a gladiator analogy. Okay. Not the movie, but just gladiators in general.
I got you. We're gonna have to go see that, Zach. Movie night with the boys or something.
We'll watch. Can we watch it on Discord? Discord watch.
Yeah, Discord movie watch. How
there you go.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Anything else on Jiri? Because I did want to get to Giga Chikadze because where Jiri is a star is kind of born tonight. Giga Chikadze is just an absolute animal, and it broke my heart because I'm a huge Cub Swanson fan. He's an OG, but man, there was no point. I mean, I took Cub Swanson to win in our show picks because that's my fighter. I'm never gonna go away from the guys that I love to watch. But no point when I made that pick was I confident that Cub Swanson was going to win that fight. Giga Chikadze he's just different, man. The striking is very good. And the body shot, I don't know if you guys saw the afterwards when they were raising their hands, but one shot, Cub Swanson took one shot on the ribs and his ribs were swollen. It was absolutely it was crazy. I felt like I was going to have to shit myself just watching that kick happen. It was just absolutely insane. Freaking landed flush. The reaction from Cub. I don't know. I feel like the liver shot knockouts almost get me just as excited as
someone get
knocked
dropped
out cold. Yeah, because it has to be perfectly executed in the perfect spot. And it's freaking awesome when it happens. And I hate to see Cub lose, but I'm a fan of Giga Chikadze, so it wasn't that heartbreaking for me. And a cool story, bro, really quick. Gave everything that Dana White hates. Khabib retired. Masvidal slept. Conor slept. Zhang slept. Chimaev almost retired. Izzy lost. Askren makes MMA look bad. Macy Barber lost. Dana's about to have a stroke. That's about the whole year so far in summary.
That's just
there's
this year.
Yeah, there's completely a correlation between when I'm happy and Dana's miserable. I've loved this year of MMA, which lets me know that it's been terrible for the needle movers. So that's perfect.
Well, because you're also making money off of the people that he wants to win that are losing. So it's
these guys he wants to win get nice big fat favorites, and then I cash in on the underdogs. So
you admit Jake Paul is
I still don't know. I thought it was Logan Paul till you just said it. So I don't know.
Listen, I had Eric Anders on earlier. He said he would fuck up Jake Paul. And
cool.
for two he said he doesn't like Jake Paul, but the dude somehow knows how to move a needle, and he's doing it the right way and making money. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, he doesn't move my needle.
What?
I'm concerned if he did.
Yeah.
Speaking of moving my needle, is that the voice of God, Carrie, that I just heard? Don't come on the screen. Don't you dare come on screen.
Did you hear what he said?
I will. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
He said it would be concerning if Jake Paul.
I heard him. Don't worry. I heard him.
I was thinking it, but he said it. It worked out.
If you think I'm uncomfortable with getting embarrassed on this channel, you haven't been watching long enough.
We all embarrass ourselves every time we just come on the screen. So it's
totally Giga though, the Giga kick. That was fantastic.
I didn't know that it was like it had a specific name, the Giga kick.
I mean, he came into the UFC after fighting in Glory Kickboxing, and he was known for that body kick over there. And then when he first came over, like, first of all, he lost on the Contender Series, Giga did, to Austin Springer.
Yeah,
you remember how Austin Springer did in the UFC?
Nothing.
Never heard of him.
He looked absolutely terrible. I think he lost to Bruce Leroy. I think Bruce Leroy,
he submitted Giga, right?
Huh?
He submitted Giga, no? Or is that
he submitted Giga on the Contender Series in round 3? Yeah. And it's just to see, now Giga, I think if you put Giga against a primary striker like what Cub was, I thought Giga was going to get him with the leg kicks with Cub having the bad knee, but it was that one body kick. And I mean, it's just, there's something about a liver kick because you'll see like a bunch of slapping ones. You'll hear them. You'll be like, oh, what a body kick. And they'll keep walking. And then it'll be like a glancing one. It'll be like, then all of a sudden they go down. And I don't really understand how it works, but yeah.
Yeah.
But he was that flabby dude at 135. Yeah.
Skinny fat. That's called skinny fat.
He beat at 145 pounds.
And he beat Giga. Yeah, if you did the Georgia parlay, which I advised everybody on with Mirab actually being way too close against Stamen, but that was a great fight.
I tell you what, though, I had my questions about him early on in that fight about Merab. I was like, how is he really gonna do? And then you start seeing, okay, if he's not able to, he can adjust, and his fucking gas tank. Holy shit!
Well, let's talk about the Georgians together.
Yeah.
We're just gonna bounce between Giga and Mirab, but. Yeah, like Giga, I mean, because there's only so much you can talk about with Giga with 60 seconds and basically one perfect strike. But Giga, he definitely, I'd love to see the Max Holloway fight. I'm not sure if it quite makes sense yet. Probably Calvin Kattar makes more sense. But I think Giga.
Calvin Kattar's out.
I think Giga would piece up Calvin Kattar, personally.
Yeah, I don't know when Kattar's coming back. He still has concussion. He still has concussion.
He's still in concussion protocol right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. He's. Yeah.
I mean, I knew he took a beating there but Giga doesn't get Max Holloway yet.
No, that's too soon.
So who does he get?
I mean, Josh Emmett still hasn't come back, which I like. Giga.
The most inactive division in all of MMA. You got to think about that. It's the most inactive division in all of MMA.
But Giga can stay active. He's ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. No,
so it's like who's like relevant.
Oh, 50K Ige.
No, he's already fighting, I think, though, isn't he?
Is he fighting?
Is he?
Yeah, he just got booked. Korean Zombie.
Oh, that's a good fight for him.
Korean Zombie's going to pull out and put Giga in there.
Yeah, put Giga in there. I would love to
As
see him.
soon as Korean Zombie pulls out with another elbow injury or something like he always does.
So right now you got Arnold Allen.
That'd be a great fight. Right there. That done.
Arnold Allen.
Done.
Yeah.
Arnold Allen, Giga, done.
Yeah. Everyone else is booked.
Not
anyways.
Josh Emmett. I don't want to see Giga against another guy with knee surgery. Because then I'm just gonna pick Giga to kick him in the knees. Which would be fine, but no. I want to see Giga Arnold Allen. We don't need to. There's no more discussing. That's
hopefully Arnold Allen will try to be active now. But
everyone else in that division is booked anywhere. Yair Rodriguez is still
Make it for
missing.
July. Make it International Fight Week on the Conor McGregor card. You get eyes on Giga or Arnold. Whoever wins, you have a new guy at 145. Period. Like who the masses will know.
I like that one.
That's the fight.
I think Giga Chad looked amazing today.
Yeah.
Giga Chad, landed a beautiful body kick and then hopped up on the fence in probably one of the most unathletic segments for a very athletic man who just did something very athletic. Just everything afterwards, like his hop up on the fence just looked fucking clumsy as shit. The way he was sitting on the fence looked like he's just not made to celebrate up there.
He looks like a bowler.
Bro,
he looks like a bowler or something. He doesn't look like he's a killer. It's what makes him awesome.
Honestly, I told my friends, I was just like, if this dude had on a big plain t-shirt, you would think he was an IT specialist at Fry's.
That's
like
what I'm
100%. Impressive though. I love Cub Swanson. It's been a tough up and down for Cub Swanson as of late. If you really remember, he was one win away from getting a title shot.
Yeah. Well, and being cut too.
They were going to cut.
He was one loss. He was one loss away from getting cut. I think that last win kind of saved him.
I don't know. He's exciting though. Every time he goes out there, just wars. Right now, it's what do you have to prove anymore at this point? I know Giga's like an elite guy coming up. I'd like to see him fight maybe one more time against someone and knock just like Uriah Hall did with Brad Pickett. Give him a Brad Pickett type to sleep or something.
I thought you were going to say like Uriah Hall did with Chris Weidman. I was going to say you bastard.
No. Trust me. Every leg kick that got thrown tonight got a wince out of me. It was like shit. I don't know, but yeah, Giga looked good. I don't know if he's ready for a step up like Max Holloway. I think Max Holloway should just wait for the title shot at this point, or go up against Zabit. But now Zabit's out with surgery. Maybe Yair, but I know he's like on the run from the cartel or something. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But 145 is a damn log jam. I'd love to see him take a big step up in competition. Probably not Max Holloway. I think that'd be fun, but at the same time, I think the UFC has bigger plans for Max Holloway than Giga Chikadze right now. So,
and Giga still has time yet.
Yeah.
I feel like he needs like two more wins, and then he's in that top 3.
Exactly.
4
he
spot.
looks nice, but yeah, he also has to prove that hey, I can deal with someone applying some pressure in wrestling. That's but we'll see. It's interesting, and then I guess we'll talk about the other Georgian, Merab Dvalishvili.
I love Merab, man.
Merab's
he comes
great,
back
man.
after being knocked out by the frozen pond. Did you hear about that? He dove. So he was supposed to fight Cody Stamann like 2 months ago. It was like the beginning of the year, so maybe 3 months ago. And he dove headfirst into a frozen lake. There's a video of it. And he comes out, he's bleeding all over the place. And like it was like a week later, that fight was canceled. But
Jesus Christ.
Merab Dvalishvili is a stud, though. And he actually showed boxing. I know it was against Cody Stamann, but showed a little bit of boxing. He's got to clean up the boxing a little bit if he's going to make a run in that division because the guys up at the top can box. But as far as cardio, he's got the cardio to go 5 rounds. He's got the wrestling. He's durable as hell. He can wear shots. I love Merab. I think everyone has been high on Merab. The takedowns are Stamann might be arguably the best wrestler he's fought in the UFC, and he took him down 4 or 5 times with ease. He didn't hold him down, but Stamann is no slouch. I thought Stamann looked all right too, but at the end of the day, by the time you get to rounds 2.5, 3, Merab just is on a whole nother level. Cool Story Bro says the Frozen Lake might have had an argument for Day of the Year.
God, yo.
Until Yuri came around.
What? In God's name.
No.
He comes out, he's bleeding.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what he was thinking, but he probably wasn't. But yeah, Merab is a stud though, and I love. There aren't many wrestlers that I'm like, yeah, I love to watch them fight, but Merab is just a different beast, man.
It's pace, man. It's all pace. And honestly, I was pretty concerned early on because I mean Cody Stamann was even winning some of the wrestling exchanges, and I'm like, I thought Merab was like gonna just dominate and on it, just stay on him, you know. Or at least get some like some of those high amplitude takedowns that I've seen him get before. And he wasn't getting them at first, but he's persistent, man.
Yeah.
Like by round 3, he's just started to ragdoll him. And I'm like, shit, man. Like he drained him, just tired his ass out. It's like, I think he can fight like that against everyone. Like he's just going to continue to shoot and shoot and shoot again. That essentially looked like what Aljamain Sterling said he was going to do against Peter Yan. You know?
They trained together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I was never really high on him, but after tonight, seeing the pace that he set on Cody Stamann, this dude might have the best gas tank in the whole division. I mean, of course, there's going to be more problems the higher he gets against some really elite strikers, some guys that can really hit him. But man, the pressure is a lot.
That's the thing with Merab is like I'm sick of him fighting these guys. Like I'm ready for him to kind of. I feel like all of his opponents have been like, I mean, that's nothing against Cody Stamann. I think he looked pretty good, but like it's time to move him up now. I feel like they've been, having Merab fight these guys that he's taking down 12 times. Like I'm pretty sure the one fight he took the dude down 12 times. Like I'm sick of that. Like let's start moving Merab up and really start pushing him up the rankings now.
I'm not sure if that has to do with like his friend being the champion now, or being high ranked and like about to fight for the belts or anything, but I get what you're saying. Also, freaking Cody Stamann, pound for pound, thickest neck in MMA. That dude's neck is, I mean, it's up there with Gilbert Burns. It's ridiculous how thick, especially when he went up to 145. I mean, that shit's an anaconda sized neck.
You got to work on that, man.
What the neck?
Yeah,
I'm trying to get there. I got
a lot
the
of
bacon.
shrugs, things like that. Yeah, it's tough. Aaron, anything on Merab?
I really did like mostly seeing how he was able to adjust his game plan a little bit. First of all, he took down Cody Stamann more than anybody has ever in the UFC, so that's like impressive. But he wasn't able to wrestle like he usually did, and I think he still was able to really be pretty competent in there. I would like to see some finishes out of him in the UFC.
Decision king.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten, and I love decisions. Everybody knows I'm the decision defender.
Aaron, the decision dog.
The people watch the fights for decisions. Yeah. Sound like Jessica.
But at some point, I do want to see some form of how you're able to really put your finishing touch on some fight. And it's going to get harder because he's getting higher up there. I mean, he lost to Ricky Simone on a guillotine. They didn't tap in, which was winning that fight the rest of the way. And then he lost to Frankie Saenz, and since then he's been fine. But it's like he hasn't had a finish since 2017, 3-4 years ago. I just would like to see. That's the only thing I'd like to see. And I think against the top of the division, I just am not sure if he's able to do the same game plan he's able to do against. I've always said with Cody Stamann, he can beat anybody outside of the top 15 at 135 or probably 145. But he cannot beat anybody inside the top 15. It's just he's a perfect gatekeeper.
I want to see Merab be more active when he takes people down. He's more just take him down, lay and pray. There's no submission attempts. There's no ground and pound. There's nothing. He doesn't. I mean, and that's a huge part of wrestling. I mean, but that's kind of the way Usman was. Take him down and just kind of control. And that's when people start to get bored. People, I hate watching him fight. Blah blah blah. So I think Merab. I agree. I think that. He's exciting. If you're an MMA fan, he's exciting. But if you're a casual fan, you hate him. He needs to start finishing guys and, getting some stop letting fights go to decision because it gets tiresome. He just ragdolls these dudes. That's what I mean. He needs to go up closer to the top of the division and see where he fares there. But I agree. I think he needs to start finishing some fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Kute Laba, we had Kute Laba Jacoby, which was a really good fight. Kute Laba, I think, screwed himself almost. Round 1 took him down 8 times, and it was he tied the record for most takedowns in that division's history in the first round. Didn't get a takedown the rest of the fight. And I mean, he battered Jacoby pretty well, but I feel like Jacoby was almost like, okay, I'm just going to weather this storm. Mm-hmm. And Iwan Cutelaba has a history of tiring out. And I mean, to me, it was just, I think that it was definitely a 10-8 round one, because Jacoby, I don't even know if he threw a strike, but I think that rounds 2 and 3 totally on Jacoby's side. Yeah. And I didn't really like the decision. Whenever you get a draw, it's always weird. Fighters start looking at each other like, what just happened? Like, it's like one of those weird exchanges between fighters. But I mean, it was a good fight. I liked it. Iwan Cutelaba, though, man, like, it's just the same story. It feels like every single time he fights. Like, if he's not getting a round one knockout win, that's it. I mean, or getting knocked out in round one against Magomed Ankalaev. But it's like one or the other. He's just it's just never. It's the same thing every single time, and I'm just kind of over Iwan Cutelaba. I was so unimpressed with Dustin Jacoby his last time out against Maxime Grisham. So I bet Iwan Cutelaba one more time. I said, I'm going to give him one more time. And like round one, I'm like, yeah, he looks great. But I said to Steve in the group chat, I said, live bet Dustin Jacoby. I said, because now that round one's over, Iwan Cutelaba blew his load in round one, and he's done for rounds 2 and 3. And I'm kind of pissed because I feel like I got Dustin Jacoby at plus 400 after round one. I'm like, this is easy money right here.
It's great.
And then freaking it ends up being a draw, which I mean, I got my money back, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Iwan Cutelaba is still young, only 27 years old, but it's just for me, like, what else? He cannot beat guys outside of the first round. The formula is there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
it's completely there. Put Jan against Alonzo Menafield and have him fight for 5 minutes.
Just make it a 1-round fight.
Literally first 1-round fight in UFC history. No one wants to see either one of those guys in round 2. But I would love to watch those guys for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Iwan Cutelaba is as exciting as it gets in round one. It's
Menafield
just dog shit after
Menafield,
that.
Sorry, I know Fabio's a friend of the show. And, I didn't even mean to bring him up as the guy, but like I was just thinking of a round one guy who like would be perfect to. And Menafield versus Jan, that's the fight to make after this.
Lock him, Abdul Hazak Al Hassan, 2013 version of Eric Silva. We got a bunch of first round.
They probably all weigh 205 pounds now.
Honestly,
we should start our own MMA company and just 1-round fights. 1-round fights. That's it.
I'm telling you, kickboxing with 4 ounce gloves is the future, man. No grappling. It's straight carnage. I'm telling you. And put it in a 10-foot octagon. It's tiny as hell.
Yep.
It's nothing but
Phone
chaos.
booth.
Honestly.
Phone booth boxing.
The Masvidal MMA bare knuckle league will be like an off-brand.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Jacoby.
Do you think
Cutelaba and Dustin Jacoby? Jacoby is so
durable.
slow.
It's durable.
But damn, he's like technical. Like he understands his limitations better than other strikers do.
I can't stand Dustin Jacoby. Like
Neither
I
do
want
I.
him. I want him out of the UFC.
He has the most like Jose says. He has the most X Games Monster Energy sponsored athlete type name.
Yeah,
like, yo, dude, did you watch the half pipe final? Dustin Jacoby went crazy. Like I don't know. He has everything to match the name too. The tribal back tattoo.
Yep.
His initials on the back on his triceps. Like it's just Dustin Jacoby.
Wasn't there a skateboarder, Mike Valley? I feel like he kind of looks like Mike Valley.
Mike Valley's just like a bald white dude, I think. I think
there
Mike
you have
Valley.
it. There you go.
Not all white people
guess,
look alike, man.
I think we have differences, like slight differences. He's a different pigment. I like Dustin Jacoby. I bet Dustin Jacoby was one of like the underdogs I was really hoping would come in tonight. So after the first round, I was really excited because Jan was open mouthed and like all of his takedowns had no technique. They're all muscle. Like we watched Valentina last week against Jessica Andrade. Those takedowns Valentina had, she used no muscle like at all. She used like Andrade's muscle to slam her down. And she got like and then you see how Jan got these takedowns. They're like slow, like forceful, just like, and it was just like, he's so tired. There's no way
he couldn't hold him down either. Like it
No,
was like
and-
just one
Right.
after another.
And I feel like the ref kind of sold that being a 10-8 round. Now I get Jacoby didn't land much, but I think if the ref wasn't so much like almost getting ready to stop it, that wasn't anywhere close to being stopped.
No, but the elbows were pretty crazy.
They were, but like still, like I think if the ref wasn't so much like, oh, I'm gonna stop it, like the judges maybe would have just given it a 10-9.
See, Mike Valley is a legend, by the way, and that video I have seen it many times. He beats.
No,
the shit
I'm
out
not
of five
saying
dudes.
he's not a legend.
But he
I'm
looks
saying
like he looks like Dustin Jacoby.
I respectfully disagree.
I was born in 1998.
Oh
What
my
does
God.
that mean?
You were
Oh.
you were 2 years old. You were 2 years old when Gladiator came out. God,
Yeah.
you didn't even see the trailer with Ball with the Ball. Oh
Fuck.
man, you don't even know what Ball with the Ball is.
Bruh, you can't
Absolutely
tell me
not.
this kind of doesn't look like Dustin Jacoby a little bit.
No.
Bruh.
That doesn't look like.
He looks
Dustin
like a
Jacoby.
thumb more than anything.
He looks like a.
You just showed me a
does-
picture of
it
Mr.
does
Clean,
look
and you're
like-
like, "This is Dustin Jacoby." Like,
It does look like a thumb. That's
fucking
pretty good
Mr. Clean is
comparison.
what you just showed me. I don't know.
I'm really bad at comparisons,
I
so
hope
but I
they-
feel like
I
it
hope
looks
they
like Dustin
carry-
Jacoby.
I hope they don't make that fight again. I really don't need to see
No,
that
I
again.
don't need to see it again.
Like Jan doesn't need to keep just fighting the same guy for like a year and a half over and over again because weird shit happens. Yeah, just move it on. Strickland too. Like the Strickland fight, in my opinion on that real quick is I feel like that's a fight of an example of sometimes what can happen when there's no crowd. Is sometimes the fighters can fall into kind of sparring mode where they kind of forget
Yes.
that they're really in a fight and there's no crowd there to put that external pressure on them. And so
Like-
they just kind of go through the motions and spar.
Yeah,
And
I-
it was a
that's
sparring
even-
match.
that's,
Steven,
that's
I
something I wanted
said-
to touch on.
we feel like Strickland could have finished that fight many times. Like he just
But
was
there's no
very
crowd
like
there and it's just
yeah.
like
He
you
just
know,
kept
like-
throwing punches out there, like nothing to really. But he didn't. I don't think he finished his first two fights either, though, or the last two fights he's fought. One was Jack Marshman or something like that, I think it was, and he
Something
didn't.
he has a killer instinct, man.
He didn't knock him out, and I forget who his last fight was.
Brendan Allen ran
Oh
into
yeah, he
him.
did knock out
he,
Brendan
he,
Allen.
he
Yeah,
finished Brendan Allen. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I wanted to ask you guys. After last week's event, which by the way, Aaron, Jesus, you got one of the best cards of all time.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
can't quite take credit for saying I kept defending it all week. Exceeded my expectations. for
That
sure.
shit was crazy.
Yeah.
After experiencing that last week, I think like I realize now more than anything. I think whenever like this whole no fans thing started, that I was like very okay. Like this might even be cooler than having no fans. After last week, it's not even like close to me. Like it
Oh
just
my- dude.
having the fans there, especially now that we've had this time period where there aren't any fans, and the guys that have been active realize that whenever they're being boring, there's no repercussions to their actions by the fans. Now I think if they go in the octagon and they're just hearing 10,000 people fucking booing the shit out of them, like they're gonna be like, oh, well, I might want to actually do some shit right here.
I mean, observer effect has been. I took like psychology in college. Observer effect is a real effect. Like it's definitely plays a factor on performers and sometimes in a negative way, sometimes in a positive. But I think just fights like that fight with Strickland tonight don't happen in front of last week's crowd.
No.
Like there wasn't that.
I'll be honest. Today was a rough day. A lot of stuff going on, and I like.
Sorry, Zach.
No, it's okay. the last, so I was exhausted. So prelims, I'm like falling asleep, and I'm just like, man, like I almost feel like after a massive pay-per-view, and this is, I love fights every week. Don't get me wrong, but it's like after a massive pay-per-view like that,
Usually
like
they
I don't mind a break. Like I don't mind because you're coming off that massive high of that great pay-per-view. And now we're here back at the apex now with no fans, and it just right off the bat you get no fans, and then you get Martinez on the mic over Buffer, and it's like, oh my god, this is the most watered down MMA card. And then we got next week now, which isn't even fully booked yet. Like they don't even have every. They only got like 4 fights on this card booked so far. It's like I don't mind a nice 1 week break after a big pay-per-view like that. It's totally okay. I like the cards every week. Like, it's cool. I love watching MMA, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just very weird. You go from all those fans and such an exhilarating card to this card that was not bad. It wasn't a bad card, but it's like it felt like a shit card compared to last week.
Hey, the MMA gods give us, the MMA gods taketh away. You know, you got to sacrifice some bad things happening for some shit like that.
Next week is going to be awful.
Awful. Horrible. It was going to be carried by probably the main event that most MMA hardcores were looking the most forward to out of any fight that's been booked this year.
Yeah.
And now it's off, and we're probably going to get Michelle Watterson versus someone Marina Rodriguez. Yeah, Marina Rodriguez for 5 rounds, which would be a fun decision to watch. I don't know. Well, this card, I was definitely thinking like, okay, this was a sacrifice for 262. You know, like I was thinking, okay, I'm fine with all these being shit as long as 2
sacrifices next week.
This week was look.
It was
this
good.
Week,
no, it was
Decision
good.
City. But like Aaron said, at least they weren't like bad decisions. He's like a big fan of decisions. I'm okay with these type of decisions. It wasn't like the Cyril Gahn and freaking
no.
And
Rosenstrike ended with those 2 nice knockouts.
And it ended with 2 just really great nice performances, knockouts. Especially the Jiri and Reyes one. If that one would have ended quickly, I don't think it would have been as great as it was. We got to see 2 rounds of
for 2 rounds, carnage. That was one of the better fights of the year, I think.
Yeah,
for only 2 rounds.
That's what I'm thinking. It was Figueiredo versus Moreno this year?
No, that was last year.
End of last year.
Okay, so yeah, I think it was like December last year, right?
Yeah.
Then this one fight of the year right now?
I don't think there's another fight that's as close back and forth. I mean, Jeff Molina's fight I thought that was a really good fight too. But that'll never win fight of the year. That won't win fight of the year because they're still new.
I think it's definitely should be up there. I'm blanking right now. There's another fight. Not the Max Holloway Cater fight, obviously, because it wasn't.
Also, we didn't touch on this. There was another fight tonight that was incredible. I mean, who was it? It was
Kolaris and Sanders. The first fight.
No. It wasn't Kolaris and Sanders. It's T.J. Brown and Kai Kamaka.
Oh yes, that was a good fight.
Insane. Both of them dropped each other. It was a great fight. It ended in a split decision, which I wasn't sure. I thought T.J. Brown should have won the fight.
Yeah,
but man, like I said, sometimes decisions can be extremely misleading. But tonight it wasn't great. I memean, obviously, like I said, like I don't get too excited for fights that don't have divisional implications. At least a lot of them. You know, I felt like Ferguson and I keep calling it Ferguson, Jiri Ferguson. I feel like Reyes and Prochazka was that had serious divisional implications. As well as I mean, like Giga now coming up into featherweight. Now you have a realistic new contender. But the rest of the card, I mean, I just asked for them to be entertaining, and as an MMA fan, tonight they were entertaining. So I'm all on board for those. Next week,
oh my god, next week is. I'm just trying to find holes to bet on, and that's.
Should we just do a live? Should we just do a live show the entire card and just recap the card as it happens, and then just?
Hey, these paper cards are sometimes the best cards. So
it's not even fully filled out yet. That's what's crazy.
That's okay. LFA does it all the time. I'm used to this. Watching smaller organizations, this is how it's done. Like,
I'll never forgive TJ Dillashaw for headbutting someone or doing whatever the hell got him.
Yeah, that's
he wasn't ready to fight yet, so he took a knife and was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this real quick, so I don't have to fight yet.
I don't know that man. I was super excited for that fight. I was just telling Jose it was so soon, but then again, that was one of those fights that like being this soon seemed a little bit too good to be true. As well as like the Yoel Romero and
I was
fight.
about to say, can I just real quick talk about that and how I called that never happening when it was announced?
You and Lewis both called that. Both of y'all told me that fight's never happening.
They knew it was never. And like I especially knew it was never going to happen when they scheduled it to be after the champion fought in the tournament. Because I'm like, why wouldn't the champion be the last person to fight of the tournament? Like that doesn't make it. It's like they're moving it. It's like, and then. Last week in Jacksonville, I saw Yoel Romero at the fights. He was hammered and being carried by 4 people. And I said, that man is not fighting in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. He was absolutely wasted, blackout drunk at the fights. Nothing was wrong with him except for 4 people carrying him because he drank himself under a table. So, like, Yoel is a joke. Fuck that guy.
Damn.
Jeez.
I would not say that to his face. He would
I
murder
would feel
me.
bad about it, but it's not like I'm that interested in Bellator's cards anyway. I'm sorry, Bunny. I'm sorry, but they have consistently failed to deliver on so many different occasions.
That's just someone who's not watching the cards who having an opinion.
I feel the same. I've watched the cards. I can't get into Bellator.
No.
I love
every time this is like yeesh. We should change it to UFC Stooges then because you guys don't like MMA.
No,
I mean I watched all of
one.
PFL. I watched one.
I love PFL. I love Ryzen. This is my problem. I'll explain to you. Every time, it's not that I won't watch Bellator cards. I just watched Pitbull just dominate again. Him and AJ McKee. I'm super looking forward to that fight. But this is my problem. Every time I'm looking forward to a big matchup that the Bellator pushes, that I try to get my friends into. This is really where my frustration comes. Paul Daly versus MVP. I was super excited for that fight. That shit couldn't have been any more ass than it was. I mean, I'm talking about even the Fedor like pay-per-view. You got your money's worth, but at the same time, like, damn, Aaron Pico got hyped up as LeBron James of MMA just to get fucking submitted by a rooms to go fucking furniture salesman in like 40 seconds. Bellator just seems to disappoint every time. Hey, Diego Lima versus Gegard Mousasi. Gegard Mousasi just went out there and wrestle fucked him for 5 rounds. Every time they have a big card, it doesn't deliver on any scale of entertainment. And that's my biggest problem with them. It's not that I'm not watching it because it's a subpar MMA product, which it kind of is to a certain extent to the UFC, but because I love one. One's really entertaining. PFL's really entertaining.
I'm all in on PFL this year. I don't know. I'm
and now even with this Yoel Romero and Anthony Rumble Johnson fight falling out, now I'm just like, why? Why should I get excited to watch your fights? Why should I pay for a Showtime subscription now to watch your fights? When every time I've tried to like be invested in it, I can't get my money's worth. You know? That's basically where my frustration in Bellator lies. Am I wrong on that, Aaron? Have these fights delivered?
Nope, you're completely spot on.
Yeah,
Bellator sucks.
Yeah. it's tough.
It's 2 in the morning. I'm not about to argue about why Bellator is good. You don't even watch the prelims on a UFC card, so I'd like have to argue why just the main card of a Bellator.
Yes, I do. I watched Loma. You know, I told my friends that Loma was fighting tonight.
It's okay. It's all right, dude. Like, there's different kinds of fans.
I love the beef. I love the beef.
I'm a casual
facts. Man. It's like I'd be like the prelims. You'd be like the what?
Casual Kieran.
Okay.
Casual Kieran. Casual Kieran
again.
Oh my
Bringing
goodness.
up Fedor Emelianenko in 2021. Like if you're signing up to watch Fedor, I don't know what to tell you.
Dude, it was a card pay-per-view stacked. I was super duper excited about a dude that had a 0-0 record. Aaron Pico. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They had a fight card in with an eye poke and a dick kick. They literally had a fight card.
Check out the Bellator breakdowns on this channel, though, please.
It's a tough scene.
I wanted to ask before we got into the awards, is Masvidal's promotion going to be in an outside octagon, like in a cage? Because that would be sick. Like in his like a street like a street fight. I feel like that's the only way that he could do that. I feel like that would be ideal. Does anyone know?
I wasn't even aware of his promotion.
So I know it's bare knuckle. I mean, and so it's MMA, and so yeah, it'll probably be outside. Why not on the beach? I feel like it can't be on the beach. It's got to be like in the hood somewhere in like Miami, Florida, like in a backyard, like Kimbo. Yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's where Masvidal is from. That'd be sick. Have the guy who beat Kimbo on it, Sean Gannon, was it? Is that the dude who beat Kimbo back in the day? Sean Gannon. All right, you guys ready for some? Wait, do we want to do pink slips or do we want to do sheath superlatives first? I'll let you guys pick. We'll do pink slip. All right, here we go. Pink slips. All
All right, here we go. Pink slips from the Coffee and KO's crew, and I actually have a bunch of them, so I'm gonna let you two go first, and I'll get the leftovers. So, Kieran, you can go first.
I actually have a fight from the prelims that I watched because I
Oh
watched
my
prelims. Anyway, Randa Marcos. I just think it was funny.
She should have been fired before she even got on this card.
Now she has a losing record. I mean, it wasn't her fault, to be honest with you, because the girl that definitely was doing an acting job. But you could honestly see the regret in her face after she got eye poked, and then she was kind of like trying to sell it. And then she was like, "Oh fuck, I'm not gonna get out of this without like a bad reputation," you know. And then she lands that up kick while girl's on her knee, and she starts. She's like, "Fuck, I should have done that shit." So yeah,
Aljamain, the trend center, freaking Sterling.
Hey, your undisputed UFC bantamweight champion of the world. You guys can say it. You guys can own it. He is your UFC bantamweight champion of the world, undisputed. No questions asked.
He started a new trend.
Hey, he did. But yeah, it was definitely a crazy acting job. But I'm still firing Randa Marcos after that.
I love that Paul Felder called her shit out too. He said,
"Oh yeah, no."
He just let it be known right away, like she's bluffing. There's no way.
You can definitely tell she was bluffing. She literally went to go catch herself, and then she was like, "Oh shit, I can get away with this." And then when Cold Turkey went out. I'm still firing the person that got screwed in all of this though, Randa Marcos. Poor girl. I mean, she's just been bullied by all the girls on that show on Tough. She's had a pretty up and down career in the UFC. She does have a win though over Carla Esparza, which is insane when you think about her record at the moment. But I'm cutting Randa Marcos. One, because her record's not really that of a UFC professional fighter, and two, because that red hair is fucking horrible.
Never has been good. It's always been terrible.
Yeah,
never been good.
Never has worked.
I'm sorry, Randa. If you see this, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm,
I have to give my opinion.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I totally agree.
I'm not fucking sorry.
It's like when you're like working as a manager at some fast food place back in the day, and like there's that one person you're trying to fire for some reason, and they end up like fighting like some like crackhead who comes into a restaurant, like ends up saving a group of kids, but you can still like fire him because it's like you can't punch like customers. It's like that's what we're doing with Randa here. It's like we're looking for a reason to fire her. We have it. It's justified. You lost 10-11. You can't complain. Like you lost.
I feel like it was justified at 10-10.
Right. That's what I'm saying. She was already, but like now we really have like we gave her another chance, but yeah, I agree with that. I'm gonna give it to another guy who thought he was in a sparring match tonight. KB Bueller. Get the fuck out of
cut his ass. He was fucking terrible.
Dude, he was terrible.
I've never seen so many missed, and his performance was so shitty. They had to talk about the form of his kicks, not the fact that they landed, because they didn't land anywhere. He was kicking air the entire time, and Paul Felder could say was, "Man, his form is very good on those." But that's all he could say. That was
like the wheel kick he missed was
worst performance of the year.
You could hear the wind like fluttering on that wheel kick he missed. You could literally, because it was so silent there, the commentators weren't even talking. It's just KB Bueller's first performance, he gets dropped with a jab. Second performance, he should have been put out, but Michailidis just, I don't know, couldn't quite do it. But didn't do any sort of offense. The whole, there's just nothing I've seen on KB Bueller that makes me think he should be here.
He needs to be gone. That was worst performance of the year. I'll take that. It was awful.
Might
that
be.
It was absolutely terrible.
I can't think of a worse one, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I feel like really in that whole entire time, I don't even know that he landed a strike. It was just god awful.
And that's just like another one where I just don't know if the crowd would. I think the crowd would have helped Michailidis get the finish. To be honest, I don't want to pretend like the crowd turns into angels in the outfield here and like grabs the person makes. But it's like it's just like Bueller wouldn't have been that chill at being that mediocre. I don't just like he couldn't have been because nearly Bisping started booing him. Bisping was like, "Do something, man!" Like he was like, "Come on!" It's like these are fighters who've been in there and are gonna be the last to be like. They're not just like some dude on the couch being like, "Go do something." They're like people been in there. They know it's hard. They're like, "Do something. Prove you want to be here."
You're at the
like
highest
Tanner
level
Boser.
that it gets. And
Yeah,
you
it's
do
like Tanner
that.
Boser was like a prospect at one point. Now it's like, this is the guy you're training with, Tanner? Like, yikes.
Yeah, I agree. My fired performance is Luke Sanders. Luke Sanders. Don't know. Luke Sanders loses this way every single fight.
Well, I bet
every
on
single
Colares.
fight.
I bet on Colares, so I like
it. Luke Sanders literally beats the shit out of everyone in the first round and then somehow finds a way to lose every single time. It happens every single time. He looks like this world beater. He's got the physique. He hits hard. He does everything. And then all of a sudden, he forgets how to fight in rounds 2 and 3. He had that guy dead to rights. He was beating the shit out of him. And then all of a sudden, the freaking switch gets flipped and Luke Sanders gets torched. Holy shit. And it's every single time that I watch Luke Sanders fight.
He makes sure to know, let everybody knows he's losing by looking at the clock like this.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm fucking tired.
Like 5 times. Like, don't do that.
Yeah. He snatches defeat from the jaws of victory.
I just, it's so aggravating. Every time I see Luke Sanders fight, it's like I almost want to bet on him because like he looks so good, and then all of a sudden it's like
I bet on Colares for this reason.
Yeah,
you can't bet on people like that, man. Don't put your money on.
No, I didn't because that's exactly what I knew was going to happen.
You know what's funny,
it's every time.
I bet on a parlay with him whenever he was going up against Renan Barão. And Renan Barão literally did the complete opposite of what you think Luke Sanders does every single time.
No, I don't think. I know Luke Sanders does that every time.
I don't think. But he literally went out there, fucked up Luke Sanders in the first round. And Luke Sanders came out there and starched him in the second. So after watching that, I was like, oh shit, maybe he's turned a page. Maybe he's actually done something. And after tonight, I was like, oh fuck, please don't let it happen again. Please don't let it happen again. And it happened again. So I'm all for you. Fire his ass, bro. I'm tired of seeing it.
And this kills me. The commentary goes, yeah, he's a big prospect. He's 35. He's not a prospect anymore. And this shit happens every single time. Like the story is out to beat Luke Sanders. It's out there. The formula is there. Just get your ass beat in round 1 and you'll be fine after that. Oh my God, it's so terrible. Luke Sanders, I'm sorry, man, but you're gone and I can't be happier because goddamn, that is the worst when you see a guy. I mean, he's got the talent, he's got the skill. I don't know what the hell it is, but he can't fucking win a fight to save his life.
Luke Michael Johnson Sanders is what was just
yes, exactly. That is the perfect comparison. It's
quick question: is there a more mediocre fighter with a better resume than than Michael Johnson?
No, I've said this before. I put out this was an Instagram post that got tons of love. Yeah. He dropped Khabib.
He didn't drop Khabib.
I mean, Gleison Tebow, who just lost this past week in PFL, is the closest to beating Khabib.
Yeah.
And he lost to Joe Ceferino last week.
Yeah. But Michael Johnson beat Edson Barbosa, knocked Dustin Poirier out, beat Tony Ferguson.
I mean, that's they're right there. Those 3 wins are bigger than almost any other 3 wins that a fighter can have, good or bad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gigantic.
It's crazy. I don't
said
know.
It. Put Michael Johnson in bare knuckle. That would be electric.
Obviously, yeah. But bare knuckle just showed their buying rate from the Paige Van Zandt pay-per-view. Did you see that?
Was it bad?
I didn't see it.
It was 5,000 pay-per-view buys. Because they kept talking about how many people downloaded the BKFC app, which was like 100,000 people, but you don't have to pay for anything to download the app. And then once you download the app, you're supposed to buy the pay-per-view through the app. 5,000 people bought the pay-per-view. 5,000. And they paid Paige Van Zandt, I think, like $500,000.
Makes sense.
So, and then they just signed Rachel Ostovich.
Yep. And Pro Gonzalez.
And OJ Driver, like all these terrible women fighters, so shit.
Random
OnlyFans not enough for your revenue. Come fight another bitch with nothing but your hands.
Only hands.
Only hands.
There you go.
Welcome to BKFC. We got ass hits and brutal knockouts. All right.
Oh shit! All right, here we go. She's superlatives of the night.
All right,
ladies and gentlemen, what up? What's up?
I want to do a little ad read. These are going to be your Sheath superlatives of the night. Sheath underwear. If you guys want your balls and your dick separated in the underwear, it feels great. Honestly, I just got a pair this past week. They're going to drop us if I keep going. You just got to take over his neck. You got to take over it.
Why you forget? Did you just not? You lost what to say?
I forgot what the fucking code was. So I was just like, I was just gonna ramble for 5 minutes about separating your nuts and your penis in a pair of underwear. So
well, yeah, chafing season is coming. It's getting warmer outside. I was hitting the links this weekend with Carrie. I suck, so don't ask how my golf game is. And it's getting warm. You don't want to chafe when you're, I mean, we don't walk the course, but I hit the ball all over the place, so I got to walk a lot to go get it. So I get Sheath underwear, separates all the goods down there, makes it super comfortable. When you're walking, you don't have to worry about your balls rubbing against your leg. It separates everything for you. It's the best underwear in the world. The material is so comfortable. So go to sheathunderwear.com, use promo code Coffee and KOs. Don't forget to sheath your dagger, and let's knock out chafing season. Yep. Right, boys?
Yeah, let's knock it out.
Yeah, knock it out of the park.
Us thick-thighed men, you know.
Yes, I don't have thick thighs, but I can tell you that
I'm black.
All right, there you go.
Thighs and ass for days. Pound for pound.
There you go. Did you really get Sheath underwear? Did you really buy a pair?
No, I really did. I actually did. I just wanted to try it. I just think I'm a grower, not a shower, you know. So, but it works for me too, you know. I was like, okay, shit, you know. You separated them.
Yeah, Aaron's a dog walker. He loves them.
I got 3 pairs at this point.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time.
There you have it. We got a little bit of Sheath superlatives, or Sheath underwear, Sheath superlatives. Here we go. It's late. I'm getting tired. We got to get through this. Boys, Sheath superlatives of the night. First one, jacked on caffeine performance of the night. And I mean, I'll go first, but I feel like we could all kind of agree. For me, it's going to be Jiri Prochazka. I think there was a couple good performances throughout the night, but it was just, you know, I don't know. Jiri he weathered the storm. It almost could have went to Dom Reyes. Whoever won that fight, really, I feel like could have had a great performance. But there's other notable people, but the implications, who he beat, the knockout, all that. I'm going Jiri Prochazka, jacked on caffeine performance of the night.
I'd have to agree with you there. But I guess I'll take someone different. I'll go Dustin Jacoby, man. I
did want to ask, how did you know about the Luke Sanders fight since you don't watch the prelims?
Apparently I don't watch prelims. That was news to me.
You've literally admitted on these recaps before. Yeah, I didn't even know when the prelims started. On these recaps before you said that. You said that before. I'm using your words recorded on this podcast. I'm sorry.
I didn't catch the early prelims.
I'm sorry. The truth hurts.
I watched every single fight on the Masvidal.
I've seen every single fight this year.
I promise you. I've watched every single card on every single pay-per-view. Every single fight.
Dude, that's
No, Aaron's watched way more UFC than all of us.
I'm
100%. Yeah, like it's like this. I'm not.
MMA breakdowns. I'm not a fucking casual because I don't watch every.
All right, casual Kieran. Who's your performance besides the main event?
It's gonna be Jiri. He went out there and fucking blasted a dude that I'm pretty high on. I feel bad for Dominick Reyes. I think he really needs an easier fight next time. Give him Misha Serkinov. Everybody fucks up Misha Serkinov. Just give him Misha Serkinov next. Knock him out of the UFC if he's not already cut, and get back in the win column. Jiri Prochazka looked fucking insane. I think he's gonna dominate this division. To be honest with you, we'll see.
Yeah, I'll give it to TJ Brown. Like it wasn't the most dominant performance, obviously, but like even when he was losing, he never was like slowing down. That's just like TJ Brown. He has 8 losses for a reason, but yeah, I'll give it to TJ Brown because like that he was not the better fighter between him and Kamaka, but he like wanted it more and wanted to like go after it way more.
It's the most backhanded props that I've ever heard in my life. He has
there's like
for a reason.
you can look at TJ Brown. Look at TJ Brown's record. He's beat a few people he shouldn't have beat. And like it's like winning when you're not supposed to is a good compliment for me. It matters about who wins, not who's better. So I'll give it to TJ because like what got him to win was his energy.
I just feel that was just hilarious. You're like he looked good tonight. He has 8 losses for a reason. He's not better than that guy, but I mean he got the job done.
He had. I mean, yeah, like he was gonna get fired if he lost here.
Tough scene. What's next, Zach?
Kieran, take us to the espresso shot.
The espresso shot of the night. I think you guys already know what I'm going to choose. It's going to be Jiri Prochazka's spinning back elbow. It's only the third elbow. What was it? Third spinning back elbow finish in UFC history. Would you count Yair's? Is that considered spinning?
No,
he was just cranking up the lawnmower.
Yeah,
that's all he was doing. He was just cranking up the lawnmower there. I mean, good God, that was extremely violent.
Best elbow knockout since Yair.
Yeah, easily by far. I mean, freaking Dominick Reyes looked like he had been involved in about 15 car crashes before then. And I think that elbow landed right on the bubble that was forming underneath his eye, which is just even worse. I don't want to know what type of reconstructive surgery is going to be required for Dominick Reyes' face after today. So that's definitely going to be the shot of the night. Good God. Put him out dead. I pray for that man's family. And also, he has to go back home to Apple Valley, California. You know what's in Apple Valley, California?
I don't.
Fuck all. Fuck all is in Apple Valley, California. Imagine getting knocked out on national television. Millions of people seeing video of you getting absolutely stretched, and then you have to go back to live in a desert.
I mean, that's probably better than going and see people talking shit to you about getting knocked out.
That is true. That is true. Small town, but everybody knows you in that small town.
That's
They're going to see you and be like, hey, man, sorry about the fight that weekend. That dude looks like he hits really fucking hard, though.
Tough loss. You'll get him next time, pal.
You'll get him next time, man. But that dude's a fucking killer, right? No.
You see the same guy at the grocery store. It's like you see the same people every time you go to the grocery store, and like
they watch your fight. They
bring up the same thing over and over. They're gonna keep bringing it up, like, man, that fight against Jiri. If you would have just done this a little bit different. Oh yeah, that would
literally
that
the
would
only
suck.
person from that town. That's
True.
it.
I kind of agree with you now. I see where you're coming from. Aaron, go ahead.
Giga kick.
Fuck you.
Night. Simple.
That was mine.
Yeah, I mean, those are only 2. There's no other customers who came into a coffee shop for shots.
I mean, I think for sure Yuri's is going to be up there for knockout of the year, but I love Giga's body kick knockout over, and it's against my guy Cub Swanson, so I got to give a little bit credit there. So I'm going to go with Giga as well, but either one definitely deserving.
Honorable mention, the ghost that knocked out Random Marcos' opponent tonight.
Yes.
Casper let her fucking have it.
We're just glad that fight didn't last 15 minutes.
Yes.
Honestly, I didn't give a fuck what happened. I was just happy it was over.
I'll be honest, I fell asleep during both the female fights on the prelims.
Good choice. Honestly, if there are 2 fights to miss on the prelims this whole year, those are the 2.
I was so tired, and I was like, man, I got to pick. And there was like that 2-fight stretch of the female fights, and I normally like them, but I didn't really know these. I knew Lukim, whatever the fuck her name is, but I knew her, but like I didn't know the other ones. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to rest my eyes right now.
Look at that shot.
Oof, man. That looks like it hurts.
I mean,
bro, the UFC's Instagram is probably like the most disrespectful shit.
Oh, can I real quick tell a quick story about at the airport? I was sitting down and I had a mask on with the UFC logo on it. It sits next to me is a UFC photographer. He was like a 24-year-old stoner kid with like a Power Ranger shirt on. He's like, yeah, I took this picture of and he's like shows me a picture of Rose when she had the head kick, and like it's just like a group of like 6 photographers, 2 groups of 3, and they go to all the events, and like it's just like, yeah, so shout out to those guys. But it was just like probably like this 24-year-old dude just took this picture because he lives out in Vegas and like just applied to be a photographer. So
that's fucking cool.
And then Aaron said, "Did we just become best friends?"
Yeah. I actually played it pretty cool, but yeah.
Can I get your autograph?
It's from
Can we
Ohio.
smoke a bowl together?
Yeah, he definitely
Let's
wanted to
smoke a bowl and take some pics, man.
Come on, bro. Do you give me like press passes?
All right. Next, we got decaf performance of the night. Lots to choose from, I feel like, here. Aaron, go ahead. You can go first.
It's KV Bueller. He got fired and he gets my decaf performance. Like, I've already said why. Like, fuck KV Bueller. I don't need to see him fight.
That's a weird fighting name, too. Like, Bueller.
Not good for the Canadian MMA scene that's having a rough 2021. Random Marcos, him, like, yikes.
Yeah, my decaf performance of the night's got to be Luana Pinheiro. I think that's the girl's name that fought Random Marcos. Just a big old giant acting job. She got hit with a shot that wasn't that hard, unlike the undisputed UFC bantamweight champion of the world, Aljamain Sterling, who ate a vicious knee from Peter Yan back in March. I think I was kind of happy that the fight was over, but at the end of the day, I don't want to see anyone lose like that. Now that I've said that Random Marcos needs to get cut after that.
After all my disrespect.
She needed to get cut before. Let's just make that clear.
I'm like, I feel bad that it happened to you, but at the same time, like, shit, you probably didn't belong here in the first place. So,
she's like 3 fights overdue for being cut.
You know what? I'm switching it. Decaf performance is Random Marcos. She should have accepted the eye poke and slowed it.
That illegal kick was the hardest strike she's ever landed in her career.
So like, that means it's going to buy her another fight in the UFC because they're like, wow, she's aggressive now.
No, exactly. Like, I literally don't think Dana's going to cut her off and that they're going to be like, oh, that was a tough break and you were really...
You cannot have a girl be 10-12 under your promotion.
Watch. I believe that... wait, what's her name? Dobson. What is she? 4-5, 4-6?
So she got cut. She's gone.
But she doesn't look like Random Marcos.
Like, she's more exciting than Random Marcos, at least.
But Dana doesn't care about that. Dana cares about marketability. And
is Random Marcos marketable?
She used to be. That's why she's made it this long. Why do you think she's 10-11?
Yeah.
Dana, I'm not saying I think so. I'm saying what Dana.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's subjective, I guess. Yeah. But like
people think Felice Herrig is hot.
God, Dana White's got
the
some
Crimson
weird fetishes. My decaf performance of the night is going to be Luke Sanders. I already said it. Dude, you just can't lose that way. Like, it's almost just as bad as Iwan Kutelaba, man. You can't go out there and look like a world beater, then all of a sudden just forget how to fight. Makes no sense to me when that happens. So,
tough scene.
Luke Sanders, your decaf performance of the night, and you're also fired. So, Aaron and I did the same thing.
I mean, some nights it's just that kind of night.
Kieran.
I already said mine.
You did?
Yeah, Pinheiro.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's one of those nights, guys. And listen, next week's card is not going to be any better. Let's just
let's take an over-under right now. Over-under right now on length of recap show for next week. 32 minutes and 12 seconds.
I'll say over. Because we always end up.
My shit is an under. I'm not staying here for 30 plus minutes and talking about that bullshit.
I think it might be done in like 31 minutes.
I only say over because we end up going off the rails talking.
What
about
are we going to go off the rails about when
Marina? We were talking about Bellator.
Earlier.
We're gonna have to the week before we were talking about Nick Newell's fucking
it's not. Listen, it's not just to me like it is a recap show, but it's not just a recap show. It just fucking goes off the rails and goes wherever.
Will it go an hour?
I would say an hour would be close. Like I think that'd be a little close.
It depends on what time the card ends. If the card ends early, then cool. That card ends at fucking midnight, like tonight. Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see what the start time. I don't know what the start time is on that one.
If that's a 9 p.m. start time.
No, it's a 5 and 8.
Okay, good.
Okay,
so 7.
So yeah. That one can go a little longer.
Yeah, but
still not gonna like it though. I won't enjoy a bit of it.
Nope, definitely not. But at least there's a PFL and Bellator next week too.
I'm all in on PFL. Rory McDonald.
I'll just watch Bellator by myself.
Yeah,
Bro,
I can't.
I
I'm
like
sorry,
Bellator.
I can't. Part of
like
it's
some Bellator
part of
guys.
it's the commentary too. Like I think the comment. I can't say
Big
the
John
Oh,
commentary.
you don't
fucking
like
atrocious.
Moro? You don't like Moro and Big
Moro's
John?
awesome. What?
Yeah,
Moro's
dude, they're great.
awesome. Big John
Yeah.
ass though. I don't like Big John.
Hey, all right, for Aaron.
He's got to
for
go.
Zach.
Right, and then he's got to put his right hand there,
Harry.
and then he's got to try to get back. I'm like, damn, chill the fuck out, Hulk Hogan.
He's seen some shit.
All right, so he's got to really get back in that. Like, damn, I don't need you to fucking yell at me like this, Big John.
Oh,
Big
Shoot
John, I'm
your-
not gonna lie, I
shoot your
fucking hate
dagger.
Big John. Bro,
Shoot your
Dan
dagger.
Hardy's a free agent. Bellator, go sign Dan Hardy. Dan Hardy and Mauro Ranallo gets me horny. I love
Anybody
it.
else enjoying watching Tyron Woodley still work for the UFC broadcast team?
After being cut,
I thought that was very odd.
that
I'm
was
not gonna
so
lie.
funny, man. Oh my
They're like,
god,
we're gonna talk about this, or are we just gonna be like,
Nope.
nope? It's like we're gonna keep going.
People
might
love
just
him
be
on the.
delaying a
People love him
retirement
on there though.
announcement.
He's not
He's
bad.
not bad. Yeah, he's not bad.
He doesn't like. I mean, he doesn't make it about him. Like, I think Paul Felder is one of the best too. So, like, shout out to Paul Felder. Michael Bisping's better than Dom, right? Or Dom Cruz. So there's that.
This is the thing.
Hold on.
Dom Cruz is so intelligent, but he's such a douchebag. If he wasn't
just a
such a
bitch.
douchebag, he
Yeah,
wouldn't.
he's a bitch. Okay, hold up. We haven't talked about this though, and this is probably more entertaining than most of the stuff we talked about. Did you guys see video of Diego Sanchez's coach, Josh Labia?
I didn't get to see it yet. I
Laying
didn't get to see it.
into oh my god.
Did you hear the commentary making fun of him during one of the fights?
I missed
They were
that
like-
too.
Yeah,
I saw
like
it on Twitter.
Michael Bisping like started talking about it during like one of the fights, and like
Are
they
you
just
for real?
started- yeah, they just started completely. Yeah, that whole story, Fabia, Diego San. Oh my god, that is one of the most.
I figure we'll probably talk about it on Monday's show with Steve, but
talk about it, and maybe even like bring up the video a little bit if you can and talk
Yeah.
over it, because like
we can.
Fabia, like first of all, Megan O'Leary, fucking queen. She's like,
Yeah.
dude, this is not about you.
She wanted
Like,
all the smoke. I loved
yeah,
it.
she
She wanted all the
fucking good.
smoke. Hey, and Paul Felder was just sitting there like, I'm going to fucking kill both of y'all. If y'all don't get the fuck out of my face with this shit. It was great. John Anik was like trying to be understanding and shit. Megan
John
O'Leary.
Anik was-
I hate Angela Hill. And that clip made me like Angela Hill.
No.
I don't know. It was
did you see they paid what they paid Diego Sanchez though? They paid him his show money, his win money, and everything. He ended up making $215,000 just to get cut.
Yep,
Cool. Get the fuck out of here.
I do it.
Get the fuck
Don't
outta
worry,
here.
Angela Hill's fighting on next week's card, Kieran. She fights every other week. I swear to fuck.
I do
Yeah.
like her activity. Most recently, she's been good.
Yeah.
Whenever she's on Joe Rogan talking about how she's like,
she's fighting Amanda Ribas too. So that's actually sadly one of the best fights on that card. That's how bad it is.
Well, we don't know yet. The card's not even
Fuck.
filled out, so who knows? But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this show. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at the MMA Stooges. Go subscribe on YouTube. Our YouTube channel doing super well, so make sure you check that out. Hit the subscribe button. We got Eric Anders' interview dropping Wednesday. More interviews to come moving forward. We appreciate all the support. Can't wait to see y'all next time. Make sure you check out Sheath Underwear. Use promo code Coffee and KOs. Get 20% off your entire purchase. Best underwear in the world. And we'll see you all next time.
look at that.